Hello everyone, DopDoper here. Today a new episode of Skibidi Toilets by DaFuq was released, and it's about time to watch this and give it a full analysis. This episode comes with an unexpected plot. Also, it is heavily packed with hidden details and very cool Easter eggs. And today, I'm going to show you everything you didn't notice. There will be a lot of cool and unnoticeable details. Watch till the end so you don't miss anything. Now, get ready, here we go. In the first shots, we see two engineers fixing the cameraman. If we look closely, we can see an inscription on their heads. If we turn it over, we can see that it says Gruppe 6. I think that this is a reference to some organization. More specifically, the Grand Theft Auto games. This is a private security company that appeared in almost all parts of this game. If you look at the logo and compare them with the engineers' heads, you will definitely see the similarity. I'm assuming they're the next generation of engineers, because they were different in the 23rd episode. They have the same repair sleeves on their right arm, however, as you can see, their cameras are different. It's thinner and has no logo on it. And in the 52nd episode, it's noticeable that these are the same engineers as here. This means that the Alliance soldiers are just as much making upgrades to themselves as the Skibidi toilets. And maybe in the next episodes we'll see improved next-gen soldiers, like Plunger Cameraman, who we haven't seen for a long time. He was injured in the 57th episode. I hope it was not too serious and we will see him alive. After the engineers have fixed this cameraman, he stands up rather abruptly, as if he had been woken up. He looks around, not realizing what's going on. There is also another cameraman sitting right on the defeated armored toilet. He's drinking some kind of drink, and he drinks with his lower camera, which acts as a mouth. What do you think his drink is? Remember him? We will come back to it later because there will be a secret with him. Also on the left, we see a broken toilet and what's inside. I think this is the first time we've been shown the inside of the toilets. Then we hear an explosion and the sound of Skibidi. After that, large cameraman comes out of the window and throws out the armored toilet to another large cameraman. And he passes the baton to a large speaker man. Looks like they decided to play volleyball. Speaker man in turn tosses the toilet in the air and with a powerful sound wave sends it straight to Skibidi Jesus. This cameraman has an RE sign on the left. This is the company that manufactures the cameras for all cameramen, I think. We also see a soldier standing on the roof with a machine gun looking into the distance. Next to him on the same roof is an engineering helicopter. Apparently these engineers landed from it. Also, if we look more slowly, we notice that we have a speaker man sitting here. He's just sitting there and watching everything that's going on and do nothing. We also see a lot of interesting details in this shot. Let's go in order. First of all, this blue car. It hides a lot of interesting secrets, which we will talk about a little later. Across the road, two soldiers are standing and talking to each other. One is an ordinary cameraman with a white camera and a white shirt, but the other one is in speakerman, and not an ordinary one because we've already seen him once. Let's go back to the 24th episode. It seems to be the same speaker who has already helped one of the operators and lifted him to his feet. He has the exact same gray suit. To prove that it's him, there's one more detail that I'll show you later. And there is also this poster, thanks to which you can tell exactly on which map the events of the 62nd episode take place, even though DaFuq didn't specify the map in the description. Remember his video called America 2? Well, from what we've been shown, that's exactly this map. In this shot, we see a poster with some kind of inscription in Arabic that translates to "Say hello to an unjust world." I think it's a reference to some of the actions of the United States towards Arab countries. And in this shot, we're shown the woman on the poster. Now let's compare her to what we saw in the Skibidi Toilets episode. It's exactly the same woman. And the cameraman who was in the episode was standing in this house right here. Strange that DaFuq didn't leave a reference in the form of that person. That would have been nice. In the next shots, there is an explosion. The camera zooms in, and a cameraman runs out from around the corner, being chased by 4 Skibidi toilets. They all have headphones. I wonder what they have prepared for. The whole Skibidi who was thrown out of the house didn't have headphones. Also, in the distance, we see a mountain and a lot of fir trees, which is quite strange. It's in a country where they don't seem to grow. As the camera zooms in, we can see this blue car. And oh my god, how many secrets it contains. Look at its license plate. First of all, we see the number 24. As I said earlier, it was in this episode that we first saw this speaker man who helped the cameraman. Secondly, the number 7 refers us to the 7th episode, in which G-Man appears for the first time in his toilet guise, which we will also see later in the episode. If we add up all these numbers, we get the number 19. This is the episode in which this cameraman appeared with a cup. He was just like that, sitting there drinking juice with his bottom camera. And that's not all. If you add 2, 4, and 7, you get 13. Next, we add 1 and 3 to get the number 4. And after that colon, we add 2 and 4 to get 6. 46th episode. Here we see this blue car, and DaFuq himself is standing next to it, watching. Wow, that's an incredible reference, don't you think? Let's move on. After the explosion from earlier, the camera starts looking up, and we see the Skibidi helicopters. They are armed with grenade launchers that are fully loaded, which means this explosion was not made by them. After they have flown over, a thick black fog descends on the city, and it becomes clear that something extremely bad is about to happen. A giant metal claw appears in front of us. It descends to the ground with tremendous force and blasts the cameraman and toilets that ran after it. At this point, we see the two friends just watching the whole thing nonchalantly and not even trying to run away. Here you can see how even after the explosion, they stand calmly without even moving. I wonder if they have already just accepted their fate, or if they have ways to escape. I hope that this speaker man survived and we will see him in the next episodes. A second later, we are shown the owner of this huge claw. The Skibidi scientist himself comes out. He hasn't changed much over the 2 episodes. He has metal legs like a scorpion, as well as huge paralyzing claws like this Skibidi. Also, the doctor has a red artificial eye like a Terminator and really huge speakers, which he immediately took advantage of. The sound of such power instantly deafens everyone who is not wearing headphones at that moment, and with prolonged exposure, it becomes fatal. By the way, the scientist himself is not wearing headphones, although all Skibidi mutants are wearing headphones at this point. I assume that he is immune to sound, although he has hearing, because in the 60th episode he was talking with G-Man. Here we see how sound affects the cameraman's consciousness. They begin to see the world blurred, and there are streaks in front of them that reduce visibility. And if they don't put their headphones on in time, it's the end. Just at that moment, someone appears in front of the cameraman and throws the headphones right in front of him. It's very strange, because this person is obviously not from here. He must have teleported here to give the headphones to this cameraman. I have 2 assumptions. Since we can only see the feet here, which are just regular shoes, it's hard to pinpoint their owner. The first assumption I have is that it is DaFuq himself. In favor of this is an Easter egg with a car. In the 46th episode, next to this blue car, we saw him. If we take into consideration the fact that he can teleport, we can assume that it was him who flew in and planted headphones on the operator so that we could see what was going on, because in the real world he is the creator of Skibidi toilets. And if in the Skibidi universe he is that creator, then it's a reference to the fact that he's making sure that we get to see the new episode. Now let's talk about the second assumption. It's possible that these are the legs of one of the TV men. I think they are traitors after all, which I don't doubt anymore, because a lot of toilets can teleport. As we learned in episode 60, the Alliance has access to cameramen cameras and can monitor everything through them. I think TV men planted the headphones on the cameraman so he could film everything that was going on here to show the sheer power of the Skibidi army. Maybe it was done to scare the Alliance, to morally crush them. When the operator puts on his headphones and stands up, we see the cameraman fall down. This is due to prolonged exposure to powerful sound waves. They couldn't resist and fell. A G-Man flies overhead, burning the city with his lasers. He blows up a building, and in slow motion you can see cameraman flying out of it. Judging by his clothes, he's a regular soldier who just hid in the building. He was hoping to wait out the horror, but he was out of luck. G-Man has headphones, just like all the other Skibidi. This tells us that of all the Skibidi, only the scientist is immune to sound. Also in the sky we see a Skibidi bomber with a lot of bombs, which he drops on the city. I just don't understand why he does it. Apparently Skibidi decided to destroy this city. He has helicopter blades on the ends of his wings, which do not let the wings break. It's a very amusing design. He's also got a huge cannon between the wings. I think it's the same one we saw on this mutant. I guess when he drops all the bombs, he turns into a maneuverable plane with a powerful cannon. On the right, the Skibidi Strider is looking at us with a scary face. In addition to its huge legs, it has a machine gun in the middle, and it reminds me of this Alliance machine. I'll call it the Camera Strider, because it looks like the Strider from Half-Life. Here we see the remaining Alliance agents lying down, and on the other side, Skibidi troops enter. They are also all wearing headphones, and they seem to have the city surrounded and cut off all avenues of retreat. The camera turns and we see the scientist going somewhere. He seems to have other things to do besides completely destroying the city. Perhaps he is looking for the Alliance Titans to test their strength, or perhaps even destroy them. Who knows what secrets he still has hidden? That's when the engineering helicopters try to fly away. Seems they didn't wait for those engineers and decided to run away as fast as they could to get out of here. Decided to abandon their friends, but they didn't succeed. Rest in peace. And towards the end, a Skibidi with the body of a large speakerman comes right at us. He's holding a large cameraman. I'm guessing this one, because the other one is lying here. This Skibidi speakerman rips the cameraman open, and at that moment we see blood pouring out of one part of it. Which means these aren't robots like I thought before. They are alive and they are cyborgs. That's a very important detail. And now I feel even more sad for them. After Skibidi Speakerman comes out, a Skibidi with the body of a large cameraman, and instead of one arm, he has a saw. Perhaps this is a reference to Ash vs. Evil Dead, where the protagonist also has a chainsaw instead of one hand. This Skibidi grabs the poor cameraman by the camera. It seems to me that after the camera was turned off, he sawed it off with his chainsaw. Probably to keep a record of what happened here, and report back to his superiors. That's the end of the episode. Well, this incredible episode is over, and so is my analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, write your theories in the comments. I'd happy to read them. Also, if you liked it, subscribe to my channel, slap like, and see you soon.